Hi there. I decided to try and get on the air on the live video tonight. May not be on real long, but I'll be on for a little bit. I'm Sue Barnhart, and I'm one of the ministers at the Worship Center Ministry here in Northern Illinois. And this is Friday's Hope, a place where we share hope for everybody, everywhere, through every struggle, um, for everything. There's always hope because Jesus is our hope, and He's bigger than anything we face, and He has a way to get us through every situation. So I wasn't getting stronger. I'm still struggling with my healing process for this major surgery I had. For those of you who don't know, on May 28th, I had my ostomy moved to the other side of my stomach, had a huge hernia repaired, and I had a small cancer cell repaired. No cancer anywhere else in my body. So I'm healthy, but it's taken me a while, and it's taken me a fight to recover. So I want to share with you one of the revelations I had this last week about getting better. So my biggest complaint is I haven't been getting stronger, even though I'm doing the exercises that physical therapy gave me. I was eating healthy and doing as much as possible according to physical therapy, according to my doctors, according to my nurses, etc., etc. But my main complaint was my strength. I just wasn't getting stronger. Sorry about that to everybody I complained to. I didn't mean to do that, but it was frustrating. And I knew that even though I had some major surgery, I should be getting stronger faster than what I am. And admittedly, I am an impatient patient. I admit that. But I also know where I was and what I should be doing. So I went through, I had to go to Madison, Wisconsin to see my surgeon up there. I had all this done at the University of Wisconsin in Madison. And I thought, oh boy, I am going to be so exhausted by the end of the day. It's a 2-hour trip up there. Then, of course, you got to walk through the clinics, see the doctor and the ostomy nurses and all that. And then you have to go back and walk through the clinics. Of course, there's a stop somewhere to get lunch. Got to do that. And then 2 hours back. And I thought, I am going to be so tired. No, I did not drive myself. My son drove me. That I'm just going to be exhausted. Well, when I got home, I felt wonderful. I felt wonderful. And it hit me then that while everything the nurses and the doctors and physical therapists told me to do, I had to do the extras. I had to continue to work hard. Lost my battery. Continue to work hard and do the extra things instead of just what the professionals gave me. What the professionals gave me were things that were at the bottom rung of rehab. And I wasn't there. While I had major surgery, I wasn't there. So I equated it to an Olympic swimmer who hurt himself swimming, and they had to do the rehab and they had to do the physical therapy. Then they wanted him to train again, him or her, train again for an Olympic meet. But they put him in a wading pool. That's not going to get this person back to Olympic swimming. And what the therapists and everybody were telling me essentially was my wading pool. And I was not there. I was never there. Everything they were teaching me was the basics, the very basics of things. So I realized I needed to do a bit more. So I started doing more. I did the extra, and this is where this message came from today. I walked more around in my home. I carefully walked up and down the stairs to my apartment until I can walk both flights now. I cautiously walk outside. I actually cautiously work towards walking up both flights, and I'm working towards walking up both flights twice now. But I'm hanging on to the rails. I'm taking it easy. I know when my legs get weak. I know when I get tired and I quit. I'm walking outside too. I have a friend walk with me and I take a cane, and it has made all the difference in the world. I'm so much stronger. I still have a small ways to go to get back to where I was. I feel my balance is a little off still. So they told me I could go to my provider, my main provider, and I could get order to go to the physical therapy clinic in town. And I'm going to do that because I want my balance to be good. Good grief, the last thing I want to do is fall after, getting better for all this. So I just wanted to share some suggestions. If you're going through a time, whatever the time is, mentally, emotionally, physically, do what the professionals suggest. But if you don't see improvement in what you think should be a timely manner, make some assessments and talk to your professionals and pray about your situation. This could be any situation: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, addictions, marriage. This could be anything. Talk to your professionals. Find out if there's something else you can do. Give what they suggest a fair chance. Sometimes it takes a while. But at the same time, step it up. Step it up. If you're not getting any better in whatever situation you're working through, step it up and do the extras. Ask God to help you. God says that we have the power of Christ in us, so certainly we have the ability to step it up. And as you're working through the situation, see what extra you can do. I just said this with your professional. Try new things that you think might work. If it doesn't, change it up. We all do exercises. People say change it up. It isn't working. Well, that works as well with our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual life too. Try new things that might help. If it doesn't, change it up. When I was in the hospital, I asked if I could walk up and down the steps there. I have 14 steps I have to go up to get into my own apartment. So I needed to be able to handle those. I did them fine. I walked extra times. Don't be shy to speak up for yourself. Be your own advocate. I wrote a note to the nurses before they had a meeting asking if I could stay one more day on my first visit because I just didn't feel well enough to go home that day. And they said yes. Advocate for yourself. Ask people what's going on around you. That's why we have professionals. Assess how you're doing and if it's helping or harming whatever you're doing, whatever you've decided to do for extra. We have to keep track of ourselves, and that's all there is to it. What worked last year maybe isn't going to work this year. That's okay. There are always new ideas coming out every day. New ideas. Please stick with the professional's advice, not some social media advice, even if it comes from a quote doctor. If you see something you think might work, talk it over with the professionals first before you try it. There's an awful lot of goofy things out there, and I know I've been around a little while. They're not new goofy things. They just have to be on social media now. Do the extra for your physical, mental, and emotional self. Hold on just a minute. Come on in. Okay. Enjoy. Yeah, thank you. Sorry, my supper just arrived. Okay, so do the extra physical, mental, emotional self. Jesus did this for us, and he asked us to do the same. Look at Matthew 18:21 through 22, and this is all out of the New King James Version. Then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how often shall my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? Up to 7 times? Jesus said, no, I did not say up to 7 times, but up to 70 times 7. That's just one area. He's asking us to do extra, and he gives us the ability to do this. Jesus did extra, of course, and here's a couple of them. Luke 23:24. Then Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. And they divided his garments and cast lots for him afterwards, after he said that. While he's dying on the cross, after a horrible beating, he went the extra And he went to the Father and asked him to forgive him for all the things they were doing to him, even at that moment. That's extra. How many of us would ask God to forgive somebody that just beat us? Yeah, I don't think so. So while he's dying on the cross for us, he's asking God to forgive us. Who does that? Jesus. That's the extra. And we have that power inside of us. John 21:25, and there were also many other things that Jesus did, which if they were written one by one, I suppose that even the world itself could not contain the books that would be written. Wow. The world itself would not be big enough to contain all the books of what Jesus did while he was on earth. Wow. Wow. Look at God. So the extra is there. We have the availability to do the extra. Psalm 40, verse 5. Many, O Lord, my God, are your wonderful works, which you have done, and your thoughts towards us cannot be recounted to you in order if you would declare and speak of them. They are more than can be numbered. Wow. They're more than can be numbered. So he's always done the extra, and we have him inside of us. If you've asked Jesus to be your Lord and Savior, we can do the extra too. Is it hard? Yeah. This has been hard work for me, but I want to do the extra and the hard because I want to be back to where I was. So sometimes it is hard. Sometimes it does hurt. Sometimes I'm a little fearful because my legs get shaky still, but not as bad as they used to. And I don't get as tired as I used to. So, um, so, um, so the extra is what I'm asking you to do for your life. Psalm 139 is one of my favorite Psalms. This is going to be kind of long, but it's an amazing passage. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. So he searched and known you. You know my sitting down and my rising up. You understand my thought far off. You comprehend my path and my lying down. And you are acquainted with all my ways, all of them. Where can I go from your spirit? Hang on, skipped a line. You are acquainted with all. There is not a word on my tongue. Behold, you know it altogether. You have hedged me behind and before and laid your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is high. I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? I ascend into heaven. You're there. You're there. If I make my bed in hell, behold, you're there. If I take wings in the morning and dwell in the utmost parts of the sea, even your hand still shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me. Surely darkness shall fall on me, even the night shall lie about me, shall be light about me. Indeed, the darkness shall not hide from you, but the night shines as day. The darkness and the light are both like you, for you formed me in my inward parts. You covered me in my mother's wombs. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works. He's calling us marvelous because his works are marvelous, that my soul knows very well. My frame was not hidden from you. For I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and my soul knows them very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret and skillfully wrought, not just thrown together, but skillfully wrought in the lowest part of the earth. Your eyes saw my substance being yet unformed, and in your book they were all written, the days fashioned for me, when as yet there was none of them. How precious are your thoughts to me, O God! How great is the sum of them! If I count them, there would be more than the number of sand there would be more than the number of the sand. When I awake, I am still with you. So if Jesus did the extra and he's given us the power and the wisdom to do those things, that will make us strong that we can do those extras too through his strength. Ask him for help. Ask the professionals. Reach out for people in any situation. And if the first place or first person doesn't help, keep reaching out and keep asking until your situation gets better. Hope has a name, and hope's name is Jesus. Sorry if this wasn't as professional as usual, but I wanted to share the revelation of my journey in my health. It's still ongoing, but I'm doing much better. I'm praising God for that. I just want to share just a little tidbit tonight. Thank you for joining me. Love you so much, and I'm praying for you. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful day.